Real stories, real healing, real heart. Body Banter's where the conversations start. From illness to resilience, we're sharing it all. The Body Banter podcast, answer the call.
Welcome to the Body Banter. Here we talk openly about chronic pain, about anxiety, grief, recovery and resilience. No filters, no judgments, just real conversations then that connect us. Remember, it's okay to talk. Now, on today's show, we have our usual guest, which is Mr. John Green, who's a clinical hypnotherapist. And last week we had a really good conversation, which is talking about the problems with men and why so many men want to take their own life and go into depression and have anxiety. We spoke about that in quite some depth ways, and hopefully one or two of those conversations and tips that John gave you may help you. Now, today's guest we have, I'm really delighted because this guy is what can I say about him? He's dedicated and passionate about this subject, and he has a website called ANDYSMANCLUB, and that's easy to find on Google. It's just ANDYSMANCLUB.co.uk. We'll be putting all these links online a bit later on. So I'd like to welcome on the show today to talk about ANDYSMANCLUB, Steve Foley. Hello, Steve.
Hello, good evening, Martin. How are we?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah,
Sorry, Sean. It's
It's
your
okay.
last name, that's
It's
why.
not two first names.
Two
Yeah,
first
two
names. That's
You
how
had a
it
man with
goes.
a perfect stage name, Steve. Anyway, we was talking about you, and I'd like to ask you and give us a brief synopsis about how you formed ANDYSMANCLUB.
So, I mean, personally, it wasn't formed by myself. So it was, I'm what you call a facilitator through the charity. Okay. Basically what it was is we're coming up to the 11th year now. It was formed by a gentleman, an ex Super League rugby league player, at the name of Luke Ambler, who set the charity up with his mother-in-law. Basically, his best friend Andy, unfortunately, unalived through means, and obviously it got to him, and he formed the charity in a town called Halifax, and we have grown astronomically ever since. I predominantly am in Hull, so my group sessions run through Hull University. We have 4 in Hull, 4 sessions, which are Hull University. We have Hessel Fire Station. We are on Bilton Grange in the community centre, and we have Airco on Hessel Road.
Wow.
Which Airco was the first group. We predominantly we're touching over 400 locations
Wow.
across the British Isles. We estimate of getting about 3,500 men every Monday night.
Wow.
And we are there. We're not a professional organisation. We don't pretend to be in any way. We're all volunteers. We basically it was set up so that you could take the pressure of being able to talk, of being able to obviously release your feelings, and it was taken upon us to obviously do it it was taken upon him to do it on a voluntary basis, so that people felt more comfortable by sitting around in a group and obviously speaking to people who are just exactly the same as them. No qualifications, nothing
So
like that.
that's what I was going to ask you, Steve. Do you have to have qualifications to be able to?
No, because that's literally how it is, my friend. It's a voluntary organisation. I went myself because I had issues myself. I had anxiety and depression, few anger issues, and it helped me and benefited me a lot. It
Wow.
changed my whole mindset and perspective on everything over the last 2 years. And I got to a stage where I was approached myself and said, look, we believe you may benefit more with your own mental health issues by helping other people with theirs. So that's what I've done. For the past year and a bit, I have facilitated group sessions. Basically, the group sessions work at the point of sit in a room, lads. Tea, biscuits are on offer throughout the
Wow.
group session. We have 5 predominant questions. I'll explain a little bit about them. So we have an introduction, which is basically your name and one reason for you stepping through the door. We have question 1, which is, how was your week been? So if you've had a good week, you've had a good week. If you haven't, obviously you haven't. There's always a reason. Question 2 is, any positives from your week? So we like people to express a positive what they've had during the week, because then it obviously gets them into a light and gets them into a nice frame of mind to obviously come for question 3, which is anything to get off your chest. That is then, I say it's everyone's time to shine. Okay, that's my own little thing on it. It sort of works because I get a lot of rapport off it. And it's basically anything that you need to speak about, any problems you're going through, any issues you want to obviously talk about, you can talk about. Obviously, we are not a charitable organisation that gives advice. We do not tell you how to do things. We do not advise you which is the right course of way to go. We obviously listen to other individual men and we just say, look, if you can relate to something that's been said this evening and something that relates to you can take that on board. You can obviously use that to obviously help yourself.
Mm.
And question 4 and 5, basically random questions, make things a little bit more light-hearted. So people can leave with a smile on the face, listening to a couple of jokes being told. And then that's obviously the sessions. We then do a lot of event work. I predominantly do all the rugby league games at Hull FC, as I'm a season pass holder, so it makes sense for me to be there anyway. We go across shopping centres. We started last year doing Leeds Festival. It will be done again this year. So we have stands at Leeds Festival. We do festivals and stuff like that. And we just want to be out there to obviously to let men know that it's okay to talk, and we understand you may be going through issues, and we understand you may not have anybody to talk to, but we are here to listen to you and to help you on your journey to obviously better in your mental state.
Steve, is it difficult for people? Can people call you, or is it just a walk-in centre?
So it's basically just a Monday night. It's a walk-in centre. You come in 7 o'clock Monday night till 9 o'clock. It's not a thing of we do it outside, because obviously we run a process of everything that is said in the room, in the session at Andy's Man Club, stays in that room. It does
May I
not
ask you
go
a question,
outside of that
Steve?
room. Yes, mate.
Yeah, a lot of people will be watching and listening, but they'll be saying, how much does it cost to come to the groups?
Nothing. It's free. Free service.
That's brilliant. Because you're a good ambassador for Andy's Man Club. I've seen what you do. You do a really good job.
Oh, thank you,
My hats
John.
off to you. Yeah, you're welcome.
That's appreciated, mate. Thank you. Yeah, it's a free organisation. We don't, there's nothing like that. Obviously, we have websites and we accept donations because obviously, we supply tea, we supply biscuits, we supply other things. Obviously, we've got merchandise to obviously supply, but we don't say, oh, it's a set price of this, it's a set price of that. We sell our merchandise and stuff like that, but every single penny goes to the charity and then is distributed across the charity on a whole to obviously
seen
fund the sessions.
I've seen those hoodies that you wear on the back. What does it say on the back? Does it say something like you?
I've actually got my old one on because my other one's at the other place. But what it says on the back, it's predominantly big in bold lettering, and it says it's okay to talk.
Same as the website.
It's predominantly big. I mean, if you look on the badges there, it also says it there as well. It's okay to talk. That's obviously the OK sign, which we know is very.
That's great, that, Steve. I mean, me and John was talking about this last week, and I think a lot of men, when they're in deep depression and they're feeling, there's nothing else for them in the world, they need somebody, and I'm not sure the Samaritans, I suppose, helps a lot, but it's a phone call and it doesn't feel real. But when you go to somebody like yourself, to one of your clubs, you're with other people that are going through the same thing. So people can see, there are other people like me. It's not just me, But what happens, Steve, if somebody breaks down and cries or something like that? How do you handle things like that?
So what we do is we obviously, where I go, there's two different groups. So we have 2 rooms predominantly. We get between 20 and 30 men a night.
Wow.
On a Monday night. Through the one group, there's obviously 3 others in Hull. Like I said, there's 300 and odd across the country. Now, obviously, when we come to them things, if someone breaks down and they are getting emotional, stuff like that, and it does get to them, I predominantly would say to them, are you okay? Are you okay to continue the session? Or would you like to have a little one-to-one chat about things, maybe during the break or obviously now for a couple of minutes? Predominantly they say, I'm okay, it's all right. So obviously we give them some tissues. They obviously, wipe the face and we continue because obviously we know it's emotional. I mean, I've done it myself. First couple of weeks I went, I was very emotional. I still do get emotional sometimes. It's one of them things of you never know when something's going to, whether somebody else is going to be able to trigger what's you're feeling and how your feelings are impacted by what they may be saying. But predominantly we would, have a little natter with them. We never do anything one-to-one though. There will always be another facilitator hanging around because like I say, we unfortunately don't know who is actually coming into the sessions. We obviously have a 0 drug and alcohol policy. If you smell alcohol, you'll be asked to leave. If you smell of, unfortunately, different substances, you'll be asked to leave.
Is that the right thing to do, Steve? Because if somebody's had alcohol, maybe they're coming to you because they need help.
I mean, the problem is because we are a voluntary charitable organisation, we cannot particularly help most people that are going through maybe alcoholism or going through drug issues because that is more of a professional basis. And obviously we are not professional based. And the reason we do that is of 0 alcohol and drug policies because we predominantly have men that are not in that situation. And we have people who are on the road to recovery as alcoholics and drug users. And to have that around that environment, then obviously people will then get a different persona of the charity.
It's a different group altogether, isn't it? Alcohol, drugs is a different group altogether. AA and this sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what you're dealing with is the mental side, the emotional side, and there's things called what we call in the world of hypnosis an abreaction. So if you're talking amongst your friends and that triggers off something maybe in your past or their past, and it'll trigger off an emotion, then you deal with that abreaction for that person. Is how are you feeling? How is it making you feel right now? And you can talk them into talking about it as well to release it and get it out. And it's a good little escape valve. And crying is the best escape valve ever. A good cry, it's an emotional clear out. It's really, really good. That's why when I'm doing stuff like that on a one-to-one, I have tissues all over the place. And then when I've stopped crying, when they've stopped crying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's what you're doing, Steve. It's brilliant. Honest, well done, mate.
And it must be hard, Steve, because when somebody's deeply and emotionally upset, sometimes it's hard not to feel it yourself, and you kind of, if somebody's telling me, oh, the other night, I felt like doing this and I didn't want to live, and I'd be thinking, crikey, how I feel sorry for you. How can I
Empathy.
stop the crying? It's like when you go to a funeral, you cry, because you feel the emotion, Now, Steve, this video will be national. If somebody from, say, London, Wales, or Scotland wants to know more, can they still go on Andy's Man Club and get the information they want?
Yes, that's what the website is there for.
Great.
If you type in on, obviously, when you can use Google Maps, or you type into Google Chrome, the nearest Andy's Man Club location, it will come up. Always does. If they just want a bit more information about the charity, and are obviously thinking of maybe in the future, coming along to one of the sessions, I do say to people, have a little look on the website, see what you think, see whether it's the best suit and possibly the best fit for yourself. If you believe it is, please go onto Google, have a look, see where the local place is, and come on down by 7 o'clock on a Monday evening.
So across the country, it's 7 o'clock on a Monday evening, everywhere.
Every single session.
So it's uniform, which is excellent, and the website is fantastic. Whoever did put that together, it's okay to talk. It's very powerful, and Andy's. You've said about what Andy's Men Club is all about, which is fantastic. The website is great. How much funding do you need? And if there's anybody out there wanting to help you with funding, how can they do it?
So basically, it's not about how much funding is needed. What we do is, because obviously we are a charitable organisation, we don't have. I don't believe there is certain targets to hit in things like that. It is just basically people can go on the website, people can have a look. Like I say, they can purchase merchandise if they want to. They can do other things and just obviously donate. We don't ask you to donate a lot. Very minimal. We understand people's, financial situations are very difficult at the moment in time. And it's just literally about getting out there and showing men that, look, listen, you're not on your own. We are here and we will talk to you and we can help you if we can. Because like I say, it's not professional. We don't give advice because that's just the wrong thing to do in the field, what we're obviously going with. But anyone can, donate. Websites are there to donate. You can do as little as whatever you want to, as maximum as whatever you want. No set target, no nothing like that. It's just about helping to contribute to the charity so we can get the men through the door, so we can run the sessions on an evening, so we can supply them with coffee and biscuits so that, they feel a bit more relaxed and a bit more comfortable, obviously, when they come into the sessions, because we understand it's a very difficult thing to first walk through that door and say, I need help. And we get it.
Okay. John?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. I said a lot of people who will be watching this now have probably been sat alone, wondering what's next and going right into themselves. And the longer they leave it, the worse they get inside themselves. They think, well, it's too late now. I can't go now. I've been on my own for too long. It's like I was talking to someone today who hasn't visited one of their relatives for a long time, and they think they've lost contact. So I said, look, your relative is probably thinking it's been a long time, and they've lost contact with you. So one of you's got to make the move, because as soon as you get contacted, like as if you've met each other the day before, all you got to do is get past that barrier, which is your own barrier, which is stopping yourself from making the contact. Make the contact, go through them doors, and you'll see people. Oh, you probably know some of them as well, and you'll see people who have been in the same boat as exactly you are right now. Just go through those doors and just make yourself known, have a cup of tea. You don't even have to talk. You can just sit and listen, see what's going on, take it all in. And people will just talk to you in general, just have a chit chat with you, but it'll make you feel like you're part of something as well. Once you start to feel part of something, then you can start breaking your barriers down. But people like Steve will help you just by the 5 questions as well, which is it's the good questions, by the way. Yeah, very, very good. Well done, Steve. Well done. Just get past that barrier and go through those doors.
And I suppose, what about women? Is no women at all? Is it just purely men, Steve?
So I think what it is, like I say, I'm not the major expert on everything that goes in and out with, obviously, Andy's Man Club. There is obviously other people, a lot more senior up in the charity than I am, who obviously run these things. In Hull, we, at the university where I am, we do have a women's, talk. It's called First Ladies, and it was created by an lead facilitator at Hull University by his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, because I don't know the ins and outs of it. I just know, yes, there are women's organisations out there. I'm not really expertise in them because obviously I predominantly work with men. And obviously my whole goal is to obviously get the men's mental health awareness out there and, hopefully help the lads
Okay.
to get themselves. So I'm not really, I don't really have too much knowledge about the women's side of things.
Okay. I want to also touch upon the website, because I keep saying it's brilliant, because it is, because it's got everything that all questions that I want to ask are on there. And one particular part I'm focusing on at the moment, you've got on there real stories, Steve. Now, I'd just like to read one of the stories, because they're from all over the UK. They're not just from Hull. Now, Steve is based in Hull, and he is the Hull area. Are you the area representative manager?
No, so I'm not. No, I'm predominantly. So I am the assistant lead facilitator.
Right.
At
Okay.
Hull University. And my area lead is a gentleman called Josh.
Okay.
He's a good friend. He is aware I'm on this podcast today, as are the other people in the charity that I'm on the podcast today, obviously speaking about Andy's Man Club. So, because obviously we let people know, because obviously there's certain things we can't jump into and there's certain things we can't discuss. So we obviously have to make each other aware if we are doing something to promote the charity.
That's great, Steve. I was thinking, if I was depressed, and how would I encourage myself to go? And I was reading this guy, Andy from Dewsbury. He says, read my story. Now, there's a brief synopsis that says, from late 2017, I found myself in a position where a build-up across several years of stresses and anxieties had got the better of me, which is many people is the same. One of the biggest contributing factors to this was how uncomfortable I felt talking to people about my issues and feeling as though I was a burdening on people. Now, that's perfect, Steve, because I would say many men would say the same. They don't want to be a burden. They don't want to bother other people. That's not the case at all. Steve will tell you, whatever you feel, you're never a burden because you're with other people who's got the same issues. And from what myself and John did last week, men now are going through these issues of stress, burden, anxiety, money, crisis, breakups, far more than women, at least they say 35% more than women. So it's a natural thing and it's okay to talk. So, and that's what Andy's Man Club is all about. John?
Yeah, I gotta say, a lot of the breakups ones is quite a big thing, especially in this day and age with the advent of social media. More people are breaking up because there's more people chatting to people they shouldn't be chatting to. Put it that way. So it's going to cause a depression. Cortisol levels are going to drop, and you're just going to feel isolated and alone. Just to mix with like-minded people, just to be amongst the same people who are going through the same thing. It's going to lift all these good feel-good chemicals. You're going to walk out there knowing you're not on your own. You are with like-minded people, and you're going to have, and there's a phone number there if they need it, and there's people to talk to. You'll make more friends. You'll start a better social gathering, and you'll find that life beyond. If like there's this start again, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train coming towards you. You see what I mean? So yeah, it's a blooming good thing, Steve. Well done, mate.
And on the website, Steve, you say get involved, raising awareness. Do you want to tell us more about that?
So getting involved in raising awareness is basically, so we, like I say, we do events where we go out and, these events are predominantly, we have wristbands. I think I've got one somewhere, actually. Let me have a look. I'll keep explaining why I have a little nosy. See if I can find one. So we have, there we go. So these are predominantly what we give out.
You like that word, Steve, predominantly, don't you?
So that is Andy's Man Club wristband, and on the other side it says
it's the right way around as well.
Wow!
Yeah.
And
then obviously we put them on.
Do you buy them or are they given free?
So these wristbands are free to anybody who wants one. We also have business. Well, they're not business cards. So they are cards that says Andy's Man Club, and when you reverse it over, it gives you details. Some give you all the websites and the different things to go on to have a look. Some will just give you random quotations of what to do if you believe you're going through. I mean, our biggest one is if you feel like you're walking through a storm, please, if you feel like you're walking through a storm, let us help you to come back into the sun. And that's one that I take with me and I keep myself, which I reiterate to other gentlemen that, maybe thinking that, it's the end and, life is going wrong for me at the moment in time. There's always a time and a place where you feel like you're in a storm, but the storm will always part and the sun will come through.
Yeah.
And will shine and make your day better.
It's excellent. So join the movement to raise awareness. With suicide rates soaring in the UK and the bulk of those being male, which is a fact, you only have to check the facts out on Google. It's never been a better time to support a charity like Andy's Man Club. What's that, John?
That's the back of the shirt.
Yeah, that's the back of the jumpers.
There you go.
That's nice. Yeah. Can you imagine most people walking around with that on? That's a fantastic promotion for Andy's Man Club.
I've seen another one similar as well. It says something like, "The person stood behind me, you are worth something."
Yeah.
Do you know which one I mean? They're really, really. Is that one of yours, Steve?
No, that's not one of ours, mate.
It's a good one, though.
It is a good one. I've seen it myself. It's fantastic what that says when you see it walking down the street. I've looked myself and gone, wow. But obviously we are about
the impact.
Yeah, it's the impact of it all. It definitely is.
It's powerful. So is the website. So are you, Steve, and a great ambassador. And it's fantastic that you've come on here, and we can help raise awareness through the Body Banter, because that is exactly what myself and John are trying to do. There are so many issues in life and society nowadays, being it financial crisis. You know, everybody's struggling for money. You know, sometimes there are stress from work, overburden. You know, family issues. There are so many things that can cause a breakdown in men. So please, it's okay to talk, as Steve would say. So closing words from John.
Yeah, some people don't realise that they're suffering from PTSD. They don't realise at all. They just think there's something wrong with them, and it isn't at all anything wrong with them that can't be talked about. It can be helped just by talking, and there are avenues that you can be directed to. If you go to meet the right people, they can point you in the right direction. So, like a triage, basically. And seeing Steve, what the group will obviously have numbers for anybody who's in a bad way, who they can contact and speak to more professionals. But in the meantime, just go in as a casual person, just lay your cards on the table, just go in there and absorb the atmosphere. Just take everything in. And you'll be very, very surprised at just how good you will feel about when you walk out of the place. You know you're not on your own. You won't be on your own.
I can imagine that it's fantastic. Now, you spoke about that, John, and Steve spoke about Andy's Man Club, which he is part of. I would like to raise awareness that you're not on your own, and you know, let's hope if this helps one person, we've done our job. Closing words from you, Steve.
Yeah, like I say, if this can help one person to obviously, you know, ride out the storm and have a brighter day and realise that it's okay to talk to someone and it's okay to open up. It's okay to be emotional because we are only human and we need to remember that. And that all I'll say is, please, if you feel like you are feeling in any such way or stuff like that, please have a look on our websites. Please come down to one of our sessions on a Monday night, 7 o'clock, which I've said you can find on Google. Please just come and talk to us. We are not there to tell you what to do, not there to give you advice. We are just literally a warm, loving family who believe that talking helps, and we are there to hopefully give you the brightest day possible. And that's what I'd like to say.
That's magic closing words, and now's the time to support. So please, you know, if you've watched this and you feel like you'd like to help Andy's Man Club and you'd like to donate, then please do speak to Steve by all means, or just get on the website. All the information that you require from this particular podcast is on there. So on behalf of John W. Green, who's our regular host here on the Body Banter, today we've had the pleasure of Steve Foley, who is very experienced in helping people and is in the Hull area. Is it Hull and surrounding areas, Steve, or is it just Hull?
So I'm just Hull, my friend. Obviously we have the surrounding areas as well, but I'm predominantly Hull.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So you know, there's no time to hide anymore. It's time to talk. So on behalf of us at the Body Banter, really appreciate you listening to us. Please share this because this can save somebody's life. You share it, you save somebody's life. That's all we ask for. So thank you for watching. Please share, like, and get in touch if you need to be. Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you all.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Real stories, real healing, real heart. Body Banter's where the conversation starts. From illness to resilience, we're sharing it all. The Body Banter podcast. Answer the call.